Hello and welcome to the Sport Geeks episode 5, where debate and sports meet. I'm Dylan and this is Andy. We have a good show planned for you tonight. We're taking a different route as we've focused a lot on hockey thus far in our first few episodes. So Andy, why don't you tell our viewers about tonight's topic?
Tonight's topic is a follow up on last Saturday's cream on the cream on the top of sports. That is the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and this is about how should there be a rematch or should there not be a rematch? That's pretty much what it is. This is what it's coming down to. Should Manny and Floyd go at it again? And this wasn't suggested by anybody specifically. We came up with it on our own. If you have a suggestion for next week's episode, please post in the comments below. We really appreciate it. We know we get some suggestions. We have to turn them down because we agree. Like the NASCAR topic that Derek suggested. We agreed. So we can't debate that topic. So suggest topics down below and hope you enjoy. Dylan, you get to go first as the no rematch party.
All right, so as Andy mentioned, I'm taking the side of there should not be a rematch for the fight. I don't see it as being worth, to be honest. If they called it the fight of the century, and I think that term was given prematurely because it certainly did not live up to that high of a standard. If you look at it, how much money people spent on it to watch it, how much people spent to go there. Neither of those fighters earned $100 million in what they did that night. Not even close in my mind. And you can say like, oh, because maybe it wasn't fair because Pacquiao was injured or whatever, but it didn't live up to the hype. And having a follow-up to it might not even gain the attraction because of how much a letdown this one was. So I'm saying it shouldn't be a rematch.
I knew this is where this was going to go, and I'm going to start off by saying that was boxing. And I think a lot of people that watched the fight watched it from a perspective that don't watch a lot of boxing, and that's not an insult to anybody, but that's just the truth. This was considered the fight of the century, and it did not live up to the hype. I will not deny that it didn't live up to the hype. But, like you said, Manny was injured. Now, oh well, how does that play into it? Manny is an aggressive fighter, and he didn't punch half as much as he could have because he had one arm. He was essentially fighting with one arm. He put some rights in there, but it wasn't nearly to the capabilities that he can perform at. I really don't feel like I feel like you're so many people watch MMA and they think, oh, these guys should be fighting. That was boxing, defensive, strategic boxing. Now, was it boring? Yes, but I still think they should have a rematch. If Pacquiao was injured, I think they should have a rematch.
You you said that was boxing, and that's fair. I'll openly admit that you watch a lot more boxing than I do, but it's evolved in a way to where it's become a different sport. It's a different sport from what it used to be. When you look at all the old boxers, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, all those Roberto Duran, all those guys, they rarely did the fights ever go the distance. And that's what you see a majority of the time this year. You can say it's become more strategic, more defensive. And ultimately, I think it's made the case to the average viewer that it's become less entertaining because most people don't want to watch two guys playing defensive boxing. If you're watching boxing, you want to see somebody throw a hard punch, knock a guy out on occasion. And I mean, it's good to see a great fight where they're battling for the entirety of the match, but the average viewer wants to see the carnage that boxing used to be.
Just two quick points to that. One, I think about the money point and in that people want to see a knockout. I don't know how I feel about that. Do I want to see a 12 round drawn out fight for $100, or do I want to watch a first round knockout? Like, what's worth $100? And then it comes down to this as well. There were three fights that night, and the first one was a TKO, so that didn't go the distance. And the second one really shouldn't have. The kid got his ass kicked. He lost every round. He should have gotten TKO'd as well. So really, when you think about it, only the big fight was the one that didn't go went the distance. And I feel like the second fight won't be $100, and the only reason is because they know they lost many people that were on the fence about, oh, boxing, I'll spend the money because it's the fight of the century, but it didn't live up to the hype. A lot of people aren't going to want to watch the second one if it's $100, but I think that if it's like the standard 30, $40, you're going to still get as many people. And I really think Mayweather has something to prove with Pacquiao being injured in the first fight. I think you should grant him that rematch, and there's big money ahead of him. And we know how he feels about money. MGM is opening a brand new hotel and casino and place to fight. They're opening a brand new building 1 year from now. Imagine it opening with Mayweather Pacquiao rematch.
That would certainly be the way to open a brand new venue for a fight. But I think it's tough because in our day and age is been seeing. I've thought this a lot today, and I didn't. It's not something I like arguing, but I think the sport of boxing is somewhat struggling to remain relevant in today's society. It's a great sport, has a great history, but just what it's come, less people, I think, have remained interested in it, and it's less popular. Even I've spoke to older people, my dad being one who was a big boxing fan when he was younger, and he said it's nothing like it used to be. And it's, I know, I do agree that there's a second fight, it shouldn't be $100, but because whether it goes the distance or whether it's a first round knockout, I don't think any fight's worth that much on pay per view. And ultimately, I was upset that I didn't get to see it live at first until after the fight's over and I heard about it. So ultimately, I think it's tough because I think the sport needs a good thing to help it remain prevalent and popular amongst the like UFC and all that stuff, but it's just it had to take a big hit amongst people who aren't regular boxing fans based off of that match.
I feel like I completely agree with a lot of people were lost that were on the fence. I believe I 100% agree with you. A lot of people that were on the fence will not want to buy it the second time. But like I said, it makes just perfect sense to go and open up this new venue with these two high profile fighters. Manny can't fight till then anyway. He's out 9 to 12 months with a serious rotator cuff injury. And Mayweather, how can Mayweather, the cocky guy he is, turn down 50-0, the greatest undefeated record in the history of boxing? How does he turn that down? How does he not turn down all the money? He's going to do that fight. And I think it should happen. And I really do believe Manny Pacquiao can win a rematch because he knows not only what Floyd's going to do, but he also is going to be 100%. I think you're going to get the fight that you wanted. And hopefully it's not at $100. Hopefully it's at like, 30, $50 or whatever. And if the other two fights with the headline fight is as good, I think it's completely worth it to do a rematch and have a good card of fights and undercards, and makes it completely worth the view. Oh my God, we are past 10 minutes. Uh oh. Uh oh. All right. So, thank you for watching the Sport Geeks episode 5. We were promising not to go over 10 minutes, but we went over 10 minutes this time. So, that's a thing. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe below. Remember, suggest a topic that you want in our next week's episode. We'll try and keep it under 10 minutes. And, so, share it. We only got 10 views on our last episode, 140 and counting on our McDavid video. So, if you watch the McDavid video, try and watch the Babcock video. See what if you like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, that's fine, but give it a chance. So, thank you for watching. This is Sport Geeks episode 5. Bye.
See y'all next week.